students, welcome to the online session or the subject of structural analysis. This subject of structural analysis is mainly for the student of structural engineering. Basically, in design of any kind of a structure, first of all, analysis is required to be done. If the analysis of the structure is done properly, then the design of the structure can be done properly. So basically, we can say that structural analysis is very important subject for the structural engineering students. So let's start with this important subject of structural analysis. So 3, 2, 1. Let's start. Hello students, welcome to the online session of structural analysis. Let's start with today's content. Basically, in this session, we will be going to discuss the examples. So let's start with the first example. Basically, this is an overhanging beam with a UDL. You can see over here that over the throughout span of the beam, we have the UDL. Okay, you can see that UDL is having an intensity of 2 kilonewton per meter. Okay, and at the end, this overhanging portion at the end, at point C, there is a concentrated load. Okay, that is of 5 kilonewton. Overall span of the beam is 6 meter plus 3 meter, that is total 9 meter. But out of that, between two simply supports, the span is 6 meter. And the overhanging portion, the projected portion which is coming out from the support B is 3 meter. So this is the overall arrangement that is given, and we have to find the unknowns, and at the same time we also have to find the bending moment, shear force, and we have to plot its diagram. Okay, so everything is given, the dimensions are given, the loads are given, and the supports are also given. So as per our steps, the first step will be to find the reaction. So basically, we have to find the reaction, that is reaction at A denoted by RA and reaction at B, that is denoted by RB. Okay, and that can be only found by taking moment on any supports. And here particularly we are taking the moment at point A. So taking the moment at point A, after that we will be getting the clockwise moments and the anti-clockwise moments. We will be getting the anti-clockwise moment by reaction at B, and all the loadings that are given on the beam will be causing the clockwise moment. So anti-clockwise moment will be from the reaction, and the clockwise moment will be because of the load. Okay, so let's start. So we will be keeping an is equal to sign between the clockwise and anti-clockwise moment. On the left hand side, we will be placing all the anti-clockwise moment, and on the right hand side we will be placing all the clockwise moment. So RB, that is the reaction at the B, RB that is unknown, we have to find it. So RB into distance of B from point A, that is 6 meter. So RB into 6, and after that we have to move towards the right hand side of the is equal to, that is all the clockwise moments. So first clockwise moment will be taking of the point load 5 kilonewton, and it is acting at point C, and the distance of point C from point A is 6 plus 3, that is 9 meter. So 5 into 9, and after that we have the UDL. So basically, first of all, we have to convert this UDL into concentrated load, and we have to take its moment. Okay, so initially we will be converting into the UDL into the concentrated load as 2 into 9. Okay, because UDL is acting on the overall span of 9 meter. So 2 into 9, and its distance from the center of the beam to A will be equal to 9 by 2. So ultimately the moment will be equal to 2 into 9 into 9 by 2. So after overall calculating all the numbers, after calculating, after doing the subtraction and division and all the calculations, finally we are getting the reaction at B equal to 21 kilonewton. Okay, and after that we required reaction at A. So reaction A can be obtained by subtracting reaction at B from the total load. So total load, how much we have the total load? We have the total load of 2 into 9 plus 5. So 18 plus 5 is the total load that we have on our beam. Out of that we have got the reaction at B equal to 21 kilonewton. So finally we are getting the reaction at A equal to 2 kilonewton. Okay. So this is the overall reactions, unknown reactions that we required for our calculation. Now moving towards the shear force. So basically we will be finding the shear force. Okay. So let's start with the right hand side, that is shear force at C. So shear force at C will be equal to 5 kilonewton. Okay, and it is in downward direction. So it is termed as the by the negative sign. Okay. Now moving towards the left, that is the point B. So from moving from C to point B, we are having the UDL of 2 kilonewton per meter for the span of 3 meter. So that thing we need to add in our shear force. So it will be equal to 5, that is the shear force that is already at C, plus 2 into 3. So that will be equal to 11 kilonewton and it will be in the negative sign. Okay, that is just right to the point B, but at point B we also have the reaction of 21 kilonewton. Okay, so there we also have to consider that reaction. So next what we read is we need to have the shear force at just left of point B. So let's see how it is. So ultimately on just right we are getting minus 11 kilonewton shear force, but considering the reaction at B, we will be getting the just left shear force at B. So it will be equal to minus 11 plus 21. The reaction is in upward direction, so we need be considering it in a positive sign. So minus 11 plus 21, so we are getting the positive 10 kilonewton shear force. After that we will be moving towards the point A. From B we are moving towards the point A. At point in between we are getting or we are having only the UDL for the span of 6 meter. So that we will be considering to find the reaction final shear force at point A. Okay, so shear points at point A will be equal to only 2 kilonewton, because there is only the 2 kilonewton shear force. Okay, and that is why we are calculating. Okay, so you can see the diagram. Okay, in at point C we have the negative shear force in downward direction. Okay, so it will be in the downward direction, and further in downward direction only the shear force is increasing to 11 kilonewton. So at point B it is 11 kilonewton, but at the point B we are having the shear force, means reaction, of 21 kilonewton. Okay, so it is like minus 11 plus 21. So finally we are getting that positive 10 kilonewton shear force. So we are moving upwards and we are drawing it above the center line. After that we have the UDL. Okay, so UDL is in downward direction. So plus 10 minus 2 into 6. that is equal to 12. So plus 10 minus 12. So ultimately at moving towards point A, we are having the minus 2 kilonewton shear force. So that is in downward direction. In between point A and B, there is a point where the shear force will be 0. We have to find that, the point where shear force is 0. Okay? Because at that point the bending moment will be maximum. So we need to find that point. Yes, we will be counting it, but reaching to point A, we are getting the shear force minus 2 kilonewton, but at the point A, we have the shear force at A equal to positive 2 kilonewton. So ultimately, we will be reaching towards the point A. Okay, and at particular point A, finally we will be reaching to 0. So yes, we can say that our diagram is correct. Okay. Now, what we need is we need to find the point where the shear force was 0. Okay. So basically we will be considering it as a point D. So how we will be considering it? We will be just taking the moment to it. We will be taking the moment to it. Okay. So moment will be taken from the left hand side, that is at from point A. So we have the reaction equal to 2 kilonewton, and we also have the UDL of 2 kilonewton per meter, and the distance from A to D is, we have considered it as a A. Okay. So shear force at A will be equal to 2. Okay, and it is in minus sign. So from negative, from the left side it is in the upward direction, so it is considered as a negative, and it will be equal to 0. The total overall cumulative will be equal to 0. So 2 plus 2A will be equal to 0, because the shear force at D is equal to 0. So 2 plus 2 into A. Okay, because we have the reaction in upward direction, so minus 2 plus 2A will be considered to be 0. It will be equated to 0 because we need to find the distance A. So minus 2 will be moving towards the left hand side. So the equation will be 2A is equal to 2. So finally we will be getting the A point equal to 1 meter. So we can say that from point A, at a distance of 1 meter, we have the point at which the shear force was 0, will be 0. Okay. So this was all about the shear force. Now moving towards the bending moment. Okay. So we need to find the bending moment. So bending moment at C, bending moment at C and bending moment at A will be equal to 0, because they are the ends. Okay. In between we have to find the bending moment. So let first of all find the bending moment at B. Okay. So at B we are having the load of 5 kilonewton, point load of 5 kilonewton at a distance of 3 meters. So it will be equal to 5 into 3, and this is in a clockwise direction from the right side. So it is considered as a negative sign. Okay. So minus 5 into 3. After that we have in between, means from point B to point C, we have the UDL of 2 kilonewton per meter intensity and for the distance of 3 meters. So we have to just take the moment, and this load, because of this UDL also we are getting the moment in a clockwise direction from the right hand side of the joint. So it will be considered as a negative sign. So minus 2 into 3 into 3 by 2. Okay. First of all we will be converting that UDL into the point load, and after that we will be taking the distance. Distance will be half of the overall span, means half of the span BC. Okay. So minus 5 into 3 minus 2 into 3 into 3 by 2. So finally we are getting the bending moment of 24 kilonewton meter. Okay. So this was the bending moment at B. Now, and it is in negative side. Okay. Now we need to find the moment at A. So we have also find it bending moment at E will be equal to 0, and also we can find the bending moment at uh, point D. So considering it from the right hand side. So right hand side we have the reaction of 2. Okay. So 2 and the distance from A to D is 1. So 2 into 1, that is 2 kilonewton meter, and after that in the span A and D we have the UDL of 2 kilonewton per meter intensity for the distance of 1 meter. So 2 into 1, that is in the clockwise sign from the left hand side, and after that we have the anti-clockwise sign in the left side of the joint. So that will be considered as a negative. So 2 into 1 into 1 by 2. So finally we have getting the moment of 2 minus 1. So finally we are getting the bending moment at D equal to 1 kilonewton meter, and it is in positive sign. So we are drawing it above the center line. Okay. So these are all about the moments. Okay. Now there will be a point of contraflexion, because at point D we are getting the negative moment, at point at point B we are getting the negative moment, and at point D we are getting the positive bending moment. So in between there will be a change in the characteristics of the bending moment. So obviously that will be considered as the point of contraflexion. So we just have to find the point of contraflexion. So it will be around, considering it as a point E. So we will be taking the bending moment at point E. Okay. So let's see how we will be taking it. Basically, we will be considering all the moments from the right hand side of point E. Okay. So from the right hand side we have the concentrated load of 5 kilonewton, and we have the UDL of 2 kilonewton per meter. Okay. So let's consider the distance EB equal to B, small b. So first of all we will be taking the moment at E because of point load 5 kilonewton. So minus 5 into B plus 3, that is the moment. Okay. And it is in downward direction because it is because of the loading. Next we have the bending moment because of the loading only, and that is of the UDL. Okay. So that will be equal to 2 into B plus 3 into B plus 3. We are converting that UDL into a concentrated load, and then we will be dividing it by the 2, half the span. Okay. And after that we will be considering the reaction at B, and reaction at B will be in a positive sign because it is an anti-clockwise moment from the right hand side of the joint. Okay. So that will be equal to 21 into B. So we are getting the equation, and we just have to solve this equation by considering all the addition, subtraction, division and multiplication. By solving this equation, finally we will be getting the value of B equal to 4 meter. We have got the value of B equal to 4. So this way we can solve the beam which is overhanging and which is having the UDL. Okay. So yes, we are keeping up to this, and we will be solving another example in the next session. So here we are ending our session. Hope you have liked the session. We have discussed each and every topic in brief and also in detail. We have discussed each and every topic's practical application also. So thank you for attending the session, and if you have any kind of a doubt, if you have any kind of a query, then you can send me your doubts and queries in mail. My mail is in my YouTube channel. Do check into my YouTube channel, like it, share it, And again, thank you for attending this session. See you in the next session. Thank you.